Okay, Corey. We've got to get ourselves together here and talk about the last few days, because this is the first time that we've actually had some time
to sit down. Yeah, it's been crazy just how busy. You know, you'd think you'd have some time crossing the Drake and 2 days, and it actually has been a day and a half now.
We left Orlando and were to fly to Miami, and a big storm was brewing.
Well, it was
all
over
of
all of Florida, and so
we were afraid we were going to be delayed leaving Orlando, but we weren't.
We left on time, landed a little later in Miami, and then we were on the tarmac waiting for a gate to open.
Almost 2 hours.
2 hours sitting in the plane.
Which was how much layover time we had.
Which was a 2-hour layover. We almost missed our flight from Miami to Buenos Aires.
But we were able to get on it, because it was delayed leaving.
They ended up delaying, everything was delayed in Miami. So
the flight was,
it was rough.
It was there was turbulence, but
we made it.
We made it okay, and it wasn't uncomfortable. I had gotten us a couple of seats that it was just 2 in a row, and that gave us a little extra space. I didn't sleep at all, though. No. I just don't sleep.
It was about a 9-hour flight. Coming into Buenos Aires,
we get to customs, and there is...
Oh, there's like a...
We wait, and we wait. It took us 3 hours to get through customs, and we don't know at the time
what's going on, why it's taking 3 hours. And come to find out that the municipal domestic airport had received a big storm and destroyed or tore up 20 airplanes there. And so they shut that airport down, so they were rerouting everything through the international airport, and that was why we had such a delay through customs.
And just, chaos. They say that they don't have storms like that. This is the first one in like 10 years. So, typical Corey and Laura disaster film. That's us. The Seabourn experience was amazing. We didn't know we were like almost 5 hours late at the airport, so we didn't know if anybody was going to be there. And sure enough, Seabourn is waiting there with signs. They take our luggage,
get us on a motor coach,
and it was
45 minutes to the hotel.
Yeah, it was about a 45-minute drive to the hotel. Very, very seamless. Yeah. So easy.
It's very easy.
We got to the hotel.
The hotel was lovely.
Much more luxurious than we are ever used to.
Almost uncomfortable.
Almost. I kind of felt like I was some homeless person who had found the back door and had shuffled myself in. You have to sign in and everything, and then they had a complimentary snacks. But it was little tiny sandwiches, some pastries and different things like that. But it was enough, and thankfully so, because I was exhausted. We walked around the neighborhood a little bit. We walked around the hotel a little bit, but I was so ready for bed. So our room was fantastic and large. I would have loved to have taken a hot bubble bath and watched TV at the same time.
There just wasn't much
but
time.
There just wasn't a lot of time.
With all the other delays, we just didn't have time to do that.
We were going to have to get up very early the next morning.
So 4 o'clock, 3:30.
3:30 we were awake.
We woke up.
4 o'clock we were down to eat breakfast that they provided for us, and it was a nice breakfast there in the hotel.
And by 4:30, 4:45,
our bus left at 5:15, and then they took us back to the international airport. Now we were supposed to leave out of the domestic airport, but because of the storm and the damage,
authorities decided to reroute all those.
We were taken to the international airport, which is a little bit more of a drive, but man, they had us on the charter flight, lickety-split, again, seamless, quickly. Flying out pretty quickly from that point.
Arrived a little early in Ushuaia, and again, they had motor coaches waiting, and so they drove the motor coaches up to the panoramic view. Spent about an hour and a half while they were getting the ship ready from the previous guests. When was that? Around 12?
I think
12:30, 1 o'clock, I think.
Then they were waiting there at the dock in Santa hats, of course. So
drove cute. The motor coach right up onto the
pier, right next to the boat.
And it was 20 yards walking, and then you're back on the ship.
Yeah, our room wasn't quite ready when we got here, which is expected. So we went to the Expedition Lounge. Is that where we had I think we had a couple of beverages and we went and ate lunch, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came up to our fantastic suite. It's beautiful. The bathroom's bigger than our bathroom at home. Our view, our balcony, I can't say enough about how wonderful everything is. Yeah. About 7 is when the ship took off.
We have just set sail.
We made sure to have our Dramamine. They said that it wasn't quite Drake Lake, but it wasn't Drake Quake either. It was just kind of, it got a little rough at times, but it didn't stop us from eating.
10 to 15 foot swells.
Yesterday all day was a day at sea, and I think we just mostly ate.
Yeah.
You know, we want to try everything, and we know once we start doing the excursions that we won't have as much time. We had breakfast, we had lunch, we went to tea. After tea, we had sushi. After sushi, we went to the colonnade because they had escargot and I had to have it. So we just got escargot. And then from the colonnade, we went to the restaurant and couldn't decide on what to get. We knew we wanted the caviar as an appetizer.
It was such a nice menu, though.
They suggested that we get three entrees, and then the two of us split those 3 between us. And oh my goodness.
It was really good.
We had the duck,
l'orange,
the salmon that was the chef's special, and the lobster. Yeah. And you would think that there's not a lot of different ways that you can do lobster, and I've had great lobster before.
And I thought I had it cooked perfectly before, but nothing like this. This was just amazing.
As you brought your fork up to your mouth, you tasted it before it ever even went in your lips. And then when you put it past your lips, there was a silkiness, and you tasted it on your lips without your tongue, which I don't think is possible because you only have taste buds in your tongue. But, and then when it finally hit your tongue, it was just this explosion of, it just tasted like warmth. Didn't it?
It was really good.
It was this is the best meal I've ever had in my life. That was pretty exciting last night. Yeah. And then today we got up to start seeing icebergs and
little bits of island here and there.
We're both looking out the balcony window because the landscape it just keeps pulling you back in. They told us that because we arrived early that we will be able to do our first zodiac today.
Almost 3/4 of a day early, really.
Yeah, I'm giddy. I'm absolutely giddy. It's to a penguin colony on Moon Island.
It's 1 o'clock right now.
And we leave at, we do our zodiac at 3. There's a lot of, and I didn't say anything about that because it's all about food for me, right? There is a lot of different things that you have to go to that are mandatory. We had to have our clothing checked for any seeds, anything that's going to be outerwear on the excursions. We had to try on the boots. First day we had to try on our parkas and make sure we didn't need to exchange them for a different size. A lot of things that are mandatory to be able to visit a place that...
It's an international preserve
of sorts.
There's a avian influenza, bird flu going around, and they're trying to keep it from spreading, at least the human side of things.
Contamination.
So there's a lot of extra
safety features
and precautions that we have to go through in order to preserve the environment while we're doing this.
Seriously, so far, we don't normally go back to places that we have been. With Antarctica before, we never got to set foot. And I kind of always regretted that. I'm not disappointed. I'm just as much in awe of it this time around as I was 14 years ago. And grateful. I am so grateful. Both of us have teared up at times just with the overwhelming gratefulness of getting this opportunity. And everybody on board is fantastic. I have not met a crew member that's not top of the line.
They're phenomenal.
Ooh, and last night Last night we had Corey's taking a shower. I've just finished my shower. I've got my nice Seabourn robe on, and I hear singing outside. And I'm like, oh my goodness, someone is looking at my door decoration. And sure enough, I go and open the door, and there's two crew out there who are singing my 12 days of Seabourn Christmas. Made my night. I was over the moon on that. That was awesome. On the first day of Christmas.
Yes.
Seabourn gave to me a room in Buenos Aires. You don't want to hear me sing, seriously. No, I'm awful. But yeah, I Is there anything else?
I think that's it for now.
Talking too much. Gotta go doing.
Let's get ready.
Hit the button.
All right.